Hey Humber and Gulf Humber, it's your boy Devo, and this is Ignition Point, connecting you with Ignite, your student union. This is your go-to for stuff you need to know, like career success, wellness and security, social engagement, and this time around, leadership and advocacy. Coming at you, we'll introduce the students who are working hard to make your school life better. Find out what they do so you could think about becoming a student leader too. You'll meet the student who came up with an idea and turned it into what it is now, an important student perk. Plus, you'll find out the best way to settle a dispute. No, you won't. Yes, you will. No, we won't. Yes, we will. But up first, your rough guide to the students who are working hard for you.
Hi all, Julia here. I'm one of your Ignite student engagement coordinators. So are Erica and Camila here. I represent the Guelph Humber campus, while Erica represents the Lakeshore campus and Camila represents the North campus.
You may have heard of the term SEC, but you may not know what it is.
You may have also heard of an APR or a board of director, but don't know who they are or what they do for you.
So here's your 101. Ready? Don't worry, there's no quiz after this one.
Well, you already know that Ignite is a student union for Humber and Guelph Humber.
The Ignite Student Engagement Coordinator, or SEC, is a key contact for students at each campus.
SECs listen to students' issues and suggestions. We help to support students and advocate for you.
We participate in outreach programs and represent the student body both on and off campus, or in online communities.
We really want to help you get involved on campus. Maybe you want to start a new club. We can help with that.
Need to know more about what your campus can offer? The SEC is your first stop.
Follow us so far? Good.
Someone else from Ignite that you should know about is your Academic Program Representative, or APR.
Their job is to make sure your feedback, concerns, and issues about your program is gathered and shared with program heads.
All that info helps to shape and improve the academic programs being offered.
And last, but definitely not least, our Ignite Board of Directors.
There are 9 directors, and their primary role is to govern Ignite, set its strategic direction, and approve decisions that impact your life on campus.
The responsibilities include being accountable to students,
Demonstrating leadership by planning, setting targets, and budgeting.
Evaluating how Ignite lives up to its mission, vision, and values.
and ensuring Ignite's commitment to diversity to reflect the student body we serve.
Got it all? Good. Because I want to introduce you to someone who had an idea, worked very hard to develop it, got it approved, and then made a lasting change. Alyssa Lim saw the need for free access to menstrual products on campus and knew that Ignite could help make it happen. Hey Alyssa, so how did this idea come to be?
First off, I had to be elected into the vice president role first, and you had to come up with a platform. And at that time, I remember having a very vivid story of I was in class, I needed to go to the washroom, didn't have a pad and tampon, was on my period, and I ran to get free pad and tampons on campus. Being voted in means that students are interested in your platform and the reason why you're running, not only because of you as a person, but for the platform itself, so that motivated me a lot to get this going.
So how long did this process take from the idea until it was complete?
It took a full term. Just to get it launched out to the students, it was the January of that position. So in January is when we did the launching of this platform, but we only launched it as a pilot project. There was still convincing that needed to be done on campus. We went out to the students and we told them fill out the survey. It's gonna help us make it a permanent project. So then when I left my position in April, that was when it became finally a permanent project. And to still see it here 2 years later, it's it blows my mind. It makes my heart so warm. It was more than just getting free pad and tampons. It was more than just financial aid to students. It was trying to break down the stigma, diminish the taboo of menstruation. There's a lot of technique into reason why this is not inside a bathroom right now. This started off outside because we wanted students to be comfortable with the fact that you don't need to be an identified female to menstruate. You don't need to be embarrassed by having a pad and tampon in public.
And how did Ignite help you make this idea come to life?
Shout out to Ignite! If I didn't have them, I would have never been able to get this done.
Just to let you know, now that you're gone, we're also still evolving the kit. So this year we're adding menstrual cups to the kit. So your project keeps evolving, and it's really awesome that you were able to foster this change within the community. And we're really thankful to have you here today. Another important role on campus is Ignite's Board of Directors. With me today is Stefan, who is a director on the board representing the Guelph Humber campus. Can you tell me a little bit about the board and what your role is?
As the director on the board, it is our job to ensure that Ignite is staying true to their strategic plan for the term and making sure that they use all the resources they have as best as possible to support our students on all of our campuses.
And like Alyssa, with students who come with big ideas, what is the board's role in approving these ideas and letting these ideas happen?
It's our job to look at the idea, discuss it, and take a couple things into consideration. So first, who is being impacted by this idea and how is it helping them? Also, how is this idea going to impact our stakeholders? How is this in alignment with our strategic plan? And does it follow, what Ignite believes? We realistically look at the pros and the cons to try to make sure that we can get to the best decision as possible.
What's your favorite part of being on the board?
So many different people from different backgrounds and experiences come together to help more than 30,000 students. Ultimately, I don't just represent my campus, but all students. Through interacting with students from different campuses and learning their experience, I get the chance to immerse myself within each one of those campuses. And in that case, whenever a student from any campus comes to me with an issue, I'm knowledgeable about all issues that are going on with every single campus opposed to just the campus that I come from.
And what does it mean for you to be a voice for the students?
At first, I didn't really understand how valuable my voice was, but slowly but surely, I started to see that I was advocating naturally for students on campus, even though I did not have the role. Sometimes you might not think that your voice matters, but other students might feel like it does. It kind of showed me that, I have to have confidence in myself and have confidence in my voice and what my voice can do for others and the change that it can bring for other students.
All right, thank you for being here, Stefan, and good luck with the rest of the semester and next semester.
Thank you, Julia. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so by now you're probably getting the idea that Ignite is all about students stepping up and into roles they've never tried before and never thought that they could do. Finding out that you could be a leader is what it's all about.
What if you could help shape and define school programs and courses? What if I told you that you could help to do this? The position is called an Academic Program Representative, or an APR. Why is the position an important role on campus? Well, here to tell us is Gianluca Totone. What drew you to the role?
What really drew me to the APR role was knowing that I would be able to be like an extension of my program, where I'd be able to work with both faculty and students in my program to initiate some change.
Why do you feel it's important?
There's a lot of things that go on both in the academic realm as well as the student's perspective, that there's a lot of students that want change and have some great suggestions. And I think being the APR, I'm that middle person where I'm able to talk to students on the front line, get to hear what changes they'd like to implement, and then speak to our faculty and admin for our program and hopefully make some of those changes come true.
What are some of the changes that you have done?
In the Justice Studies program specifically, was last year we were able to get some new electives, both with the Indigenous Studies as well as mental health electives, where students are also able to get a mental health certificate, which as Justice Studies practitioners is going to be super, super important when they graduate.
How do you find out what kinds of changes students want or need?
So last year I was able to conduct a survey with all the students in my program, and I was able to get about 250 responses. And through that, in my survey, I gauge through questions what students want to see. And through that, I'm able to get some suggestions on what students want and then bring that to the faculty level.
Why would you encourage students to take on this role?
If you're a student who likes to get involved and help others and be able to foster some change, I think through the APR role, you're able to work on your advocacy skills as well as your teamwork skills and truly get to work and meet all the students in your program, but also get to meet some of the great faculty and program heads in your program. And if you're looking for a great way to get involved and be that student voice, then the academic program representative position is the great one.
Thank you so much for giving us that insight on what it's like to be an APR.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Ignite is all about stepping up, getting involved, and being a leader. But like every good leader, you need a good team to work with. And if you've ever done an escape room, you'll know what I mean. You and your team raced against the clock to search a room to look for clues that will find the key to open a lock and solve the puzzle. Whew. We're giving you a chance for you and your friends to win a virtual escape room experience. All you have to do is head on over to Share Ignite on IG and comment on this post. Good luck. Okay, it's time for your virtual survival guide. We're giving you some tools to use when the going gets tough. Today's topic, dispute resolution. This pandemic has us all turned around, and it's been hitting everyone in so many different ways. Conflict is often the result when stress levels and emotions are high. So how to confront conflict and help resolve it? Ignite's Dispute Resolution Clinic may be able to help.
If you have a problem with someone on your group project and you can't resolve it, you and your landlord have a dispute, or you need to appeal a mark in class.
The Dispute Resolution Clinic can help you handle the situation and advocate for yourself.
Help you de-escalate, learn how to mediate, and how to effectively reason and compromise.
Now, last year before this pandemic took over our lives, an event took place on campus that had everyone talking. It was Ignite's Real Talks, and it was pulled off by the hard work, sweat, and leadership by a group of Ignite students, some of them who never helped with anything like this before. And this experience, like a ton of others, all started with a simple application to work for Ignite.
Hi, my name is Maya Marcus, and I am a fourth-year media studies student at the University of Guelph Humber. Today, I will be talking a little bit about my experience as a lead promotions assistant at Ignite. I was terrified to apply for this position. I had never really taken on a leadership role like this before, but I got tons of encouragement and support from everyone I worked with at Ignite, so I decided to apply for the job and I got it. So one of the times I really had to step in though and be a leader was during the Real Talks event and the planning process for that event. Real Talks is basically, it's like a TED Talk event that Ignite puts on every year if you don't know. So I helped out a lot behind the scenes for this event. I encouraged my team to promote this event like crazy, and it ended up being a total success. Both Anthony Perowski and Dan Levy showed up for this event. It was so much fun, and it was definitely really rewarding to see all of my team's hard work pay off. So definitely check out all of the leadership roles on campus. Make sure to be an advocate. Don't be afraid to stand up for something that you believe in or something that you think would be a lot of fun and something that students might care about. Get out there, apply for that position, take that risk, and you'll end up seeing the rewards in the end. Take care. Bye.
Wow, I guess you could say Ignite can take you from wallflower to power. Look out, world. That's Ignition Point for now, but stay connected at ignitestudentlife.com and follow us on IG at ShareIgnite. Until the next one, it's your boy Devo. Peace.